For the third time tonight, we are live. I am Bobby T.
I'm Martin.
And I'm Krizza.
And I'm saying things wrong. We are 5Alive.
We are 5Alive.
What did you say? I'm 5Alive?
Yeah,
I haven't gotten the,
What I'm wondering here, Krizza, is could you do this better?
I could.
You'd have to think you could.
I hate you guys so much. So yeah, we've had, early on, yeah, there we are.
Early onset diabetes.
We had technical difficulties. I got excited last time too. Martin mentioned Go Kiger, so I got all.
Yep, you were.
I got all excited about Go Kiger.
Your boner knocked the recorder down.
All right, so we do have audio this time.
That's a plus.
It's not going to be as good. It's coming from an iPhone, but
shit happens and we move on.
Yeah, our live microphones aren't working right now, so well. What were we talking about? Stranger Things.
Yes.
Was our first topic. So I've watched up to episode 8. I haven't finished it. I'm at the beginning of episode 9.
Yes, I've only gotten to episode 5 because I'm a pansy apparently. So.
Yeah,
Chris hasn't watched any.
Well, because I'm waiting for Halloween. I'm going to binge watch it on Halloween, and then I'm going, because I got the day off the next day, so I can go through it all.
Are you going to do it in the living room, or has Dunder just taken up stakes in there?
I will probably watch it maybe at my mother's house, because one of my friends will get together, and yeah, he lives.
You'll hold hands.
Yes, exactly. Well, when I get scared, so
yes.
you know he can comfort me and make sure
like,
that
the hopper, no!
yeah, make sure that the Demogorgon does not come to get me. So yeah,
understandable.
Exactly.
So one of the jokes from earlier, from our first time we had done this
show. There were jokes?
One of the jokes. Well, all of our jokes lately have been coming off the air. Wait a minute, dude. What the hell's going on? Okay, there's your high five. All right, I just wanted to make sure we were synced up right. It looked like for a second the feed went dead, but it didn't. But one of the jokes
went dead.
Bam.
Giving Krizza the finger.
Yeah. Bobby T has been giving Krizza the finger lately.
It's latent homosexual attraction.
I think it's latent hostility because you do so much for the show.
It's true.
So little.
I do so little.
I mean, we can get some of the WWE monkeys throwing dartboards in here, and I'm sure that would make the show run smoothly.
Oh, no, but then I'd have to do a heel turn for no reason.
And then none of it would make
sense.
And then another heel turn.
And then you get the mumps. And,
yeah, it would be terrible.
Nah, I really do wonder. Like,
and then it would be Bobby T versus Jesse DeStasio. And it was just...
I'd pay to see that match.
A lot of people would. So,
unfortunately, it's a slap fight.
I keep thinking that the mumps thing in WWE was, like, really somebody, like a fan with their hand out. Like, hey, hit hands, and then... go in and have a big sweaty match.
Right, but how's Bray get it? How's Bo get it? And how's JoJo
they
get it?
Are filthy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Bray Wyatt looks like he smells like a pack of miso soup.
My wife would agree with you because anytime he comes on the screen, all she says is, ew.
Yeah, his hair makes me uncomfortable. Like, I physically feel uncomfortable. Let's check if we got audio one more time, guys. Sorry. All right, there we go.
Do you remember years ago they used to do those like This Is Sports Center commercials back on ESPN? They had one with what's his name? The second baseman. He used to be the second baseman for the Yankees, but he plays for Seattle now.
Robinson Cano.
Yes.
Robinson Cano.
So they did one with him where they were like, yeah, I don't understand why everyone gets so sick around here. It's like it just seems like it spreads. And he's walking around like doing all those weird baseball handshakes to everyone. And he's like high-fiving and doing like all this weird jive with his hands, and then like he's just doing everyone he sees gets some kind of weird handshake.
They all have like a special like slap, bump.
And then they're like, I wonder why everyone gets so sick around
here. Yeah, he would do like he'd sneeze into his hand and then like slap. Yeah, that was a really good commercial. But yeah, man. People are just filthy animals. Yes, I think is what it really comes down to. I'm currently sick because of this.
Again, my theory, which is very clearly a theory and almost certainly not true, is they ran a train on JoJo and everyone got the mumps.
Now the weird part is they ran a train on Roman Reigns and JoJo got the mumps.
So Jose Offerman's daughter was strapping one on to take on Roman Reigns.
No, here's what.
So now here's what's really funny. I'm sorry. We just talked about what's inappropriate on YouTube and where's the line. I think we might have just pushed it a little bit. So let's just say fuck while we're at it and see how it all goes.
Here's what really happened. There was not enough Punjabi prisons in the
lineup,
and Vince McMahon injected the mumps into his star wrestlers.
He's He's in the crawl space underneath the locker room.
Nope. I know how I did it. Great Muda spit. He did the
Just
green
in
mist.
someone's mouth.
yeah, dude,
Yeah, no, he saw Roman Reigns and he went with big full cheeks. Just
that scene from Star Trek: The Next Generation where everyone gets infected with that like spider thing,
Dude,
and then and
hold on, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. So I actually want to talk about that. Recently, I just rewatched the episode you're talking about.
Well, that's how he did it. Vince McMahon, the poison sack came out, and then right into the
yeah, because the dude does he goes like comes out of his mouth. So
except he screams good job.
he's no, he screams
Knobs!
So he that episode in particular I think is one of the coolest episodes of Star Trek Next Gen. I believe it was the season finale for season 2.
Yeah, it was fairly early.
It was really early on because they had the uniforms that sucked. The ones without the collars on them that were basically the giant ones.
Yeah, a jumper, an adult jumper.
Yeah, that was a big adult jumper with bell bottoms. So that was a thing. So that episode was really awesome because at the end they find out that the one guy who was like the yeoman or whatever,
Patient
it turns out
whatever,
he's the one. Like, and they shoot him with these with the ray set to death or to to kill.
Yeah.
And it like melts the dude's interior cavity, and it has like this
That was
awesome.
the dumbest thing in the world.
Oh, I love it.
It's so terrible.
The piece of practical
watching it.
effects. It's the practical effects wise, like we don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
So it's really bad. Like there's clearly a bad green screen. There's clearly a bad.
I
like,
remember
everything.
I remember rewatching Next Gen because I did that a couple years ago. Where I just watched every episode, and I got to that episode super early, and I'm like, this has got to get better, right?
Dude, every show is like that. You know, those first 2 seasons where they don't really have a budget because they're not sure if it's like gonna go any further, and then
on Netflix there is a thing about that.
Yeah,
that might even I think CBS All Access has it also, but they talk. It's the documentary about.
It's like right at the last they play on Netflix. They played at the end of
we're talking about 2 different things.
Okay,
so what you're talking about is what was technically the final episode, and it's like here's how we were on the ship, and it's hosted by Jonathan Frakes.
Yes. Yeah.
This is a documentary made recently
by William Shatner
about Star Trek Next Gen.
Wow.
And
it was
is
a really good
phenomenal.
documentary.
It really tells you like they didn't know where this thing was going.
Yeah.
The first 2 seasons are really weird because they were making every episode like it was a movie instead of making one big overarching theme.
Yeah.
And then by the time they got to the 3rd season is when Ron Moore and all those guys really started to kind of come into...
Yeah.
They started getting to their stride.
They started getting younger writers, younger blood. It wasn't all just old dudes
if you watch a lot of shows, that's kind of like the basic formula. Like I was a big fan of that BBC show, the Robin Hood show. I think it was just called Robin Hood.
Yeah, it's just Robin Hood.
Yeah, and you can always tell
Men
when.
in tights.
Yes, you can always tell when they realize that a character resonates with the show, especially a female one, because if you remember in season 1, Maid Marian looks like a typical medieval woman. Like she's got the tunic on and everything like that, and it's usually like some kind of earth tone color, brown, dark green, that kind of deal. But then when they find out that she's a hit with the male viewers, then season 2
suddenly here comes the corsets.
Yep.
Here comes.
So you're saying season 2 is what it is.
That's where you want to start.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with Star Trek too. With Deanna Troi, once they kind of started realizing how she was hitting it off with the fans, they were doing.
Oh yeah.
So one of my favorite things that they do on Star Trek Next Generation is the stretching scene.
Yes.
With
her
Troy
and Crusher.
Crusher, yep.
They are so ridiculous. You see what they're doing.
Yes.
And they even do like they sit foot to foot and they're like pulling each other's arms back and forth. And you're like, who does this?
Yeah.
This isn't the.
It's like a scene
this.
from Let's Get Physical or something.
That's not how you work out?
No, not even a little bit.
No.
Dude, you've been doing it wrong. That explains a lot of your weight gain.
It also explains why I keep getting arrested.
Popeyes.
Exactly.
Popeyes isn't a gym. We keep telling you this.
I show up with that sweatband on.
Dude.
In a big boom box. I put the boom box on.
You just see with like the back
You're like
supporter.
punching the breadcrumbs before they put them on the chicken.
Sir!
We told you.
You got like a tender hanging down from the ceiling. And you do or maybe even like
it's gotta be a tender too because Martin does not.
I've got a biscuit on a fishing line and I'm running.
Oh my god, that's so good. But I can see the outfit. Like, you really do have the sweatband because you just sweat when you eat.
Exactly,
because you do nothing but eat it at fucking Popeyes.
And it's not actual sweat, it's just chicken fat.
Yeah, that's all it is at this point.
See, that's why I like hanging out with Martin, because he just smells.
It smells like
he secretes. He secretes.
I secrete Cajun seasonings. I walk in and people are like, what smells like New Orleans? And not the piss-soaked New Orleans.
But also kind of the piss-soaked New Orleans.
He gets that from Bob's. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to mention that on the air. Sorry.
I get that from my son.
He's trying to show male dominance over his father. And
he's like, no. Martin's like, no, we're watching Voltron. He's like, Daddy.
He pees all over everything. Actually, what he does, and this is, so I work at a job that's pretty soul sucking, and then I come home to see my wife and my son, and this is what greets me every single time I come home now. Open up the door. Hi. Just throwing down a controller and running down the hallway because apparently when Daddy comes home, that means he has to stop watching the things he likes to watch on YouTube. Which is
look how you ruin your child's life.
No, actually no. Terrible things on YouTube have ruined my child's life.
We all gotta blame something.
Exactly.
So we were talking about Star Trek a while back there. Punjabi prison.
Punjabi
prison. So think about it. So
it all comes down.
No, but I think so. That episode, dude. That's going back to that particular episode.
Oh, real quick though, hold on. Indian porn star name, the Punjabi prison.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Punjabi Patel.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's no.
Dude, I got it. The Bollywood version of Teeth, the Punjabi prison. That would be the title of the movie.
Yeah, but why would it bother?
So, guys, if you know what an Indian porno would be called, based around the Punjabi prison, leave it in the comments. I think, you know what? Let's actually have fun with this. Let's give away something. I gotta go to the post office here soon, so I think whoever comes up with the funniest Punjabi prison name wins something. Again, I don't know what the hell we're gonna give away. We got so many fucking toys here.
So Punjabi Patel would be the name of like the wacky Indian character in an 80s sitcom.
Yes, much in the way of like Long Duck?
Long Duck Dong?
Long Duck Dong from...
Exactly. If Long Duck Dong was an Indian...
he'd be Punjabi Patel.
Punjabi Patel.
Yeah, I think we got it.
Yeah.
So, what do we win? Let's see. Way to be slow, watchers. We already won our own prizes.
Yes. Woo! We're the best.
See, if you guys watched live more, this is...
we got 4 viewers right now. We're actually...
God.
Yeah.
They're my viewers.
They are.
Yeah.
They're more likely from the Discord channel. That's it. Hello, Discord channel.
Yeah, the smell.
So, actually...
See, this is why people don't like you on the show, Martin, because they lose... part of that. They don't get to smell you. They don't get to smell those Cajun, herbs and spices.
They just have to deal with this.
Yeah. And the baka puss.
Yeah, they're like, that's not attractive.
Baka puss.
I've gotta get my Tropelian.
Yeah, we figured out that so Martin I years ago made fun of his neck hair and said that it looked like a Wookiee vagina. And
I've now shortened that to Bakapus.
Yes, Bakapus, and now we have figured out that the process of taking it off isn't Brazilian.
No.
It's gotta be...
something Star Wars like.
So we figured, what was the first one you said?
Corellian.
Corellian, yep.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how about, like, I figured who are, like, the sex pots of the Star Wars world?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they're the dancers, they're always in that position. It's like, it's the Twi'leks. It's like, oh yeah, it's a Twi'lekian.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I gotta get a Twi'lekian.
Either that or you just gotta go full Ula, I think is the other one.
Never go full Ula.
So, speaking of Discord, we actually opened this a while back, but I think this thing is still super cool.
Yeah.
It's Discord for My Little Pony.
I don't get why the umbrella is.
Yeah, he's just. I did see the some episodes with him in it, and he's just chaos.
Because he's chaos. It's Discord. Nothing makes sense. Nothing works correctly.
Yeah.
So why would an umbrella work correctly?
Your face doesn't work correctly.
No, he's a pretty funny character on the show. I just actually watched it this morning. I saw it.
So what you're telling us is that you're a brony. Yeah. You watched the show.
My daughter has that damn show now.
You can't do. No. You can't.
Oh, so we can blame breaking toys on her, but we can't blame things that are playing in the background.
No, because you physically watched it.
I like how we can't pay attention to Stranger Things because he's doing too many things. But My Little Pony comes on.
It's fucking on constantly.
You fucking brony.
Wow.
Dude, leave it in the comments. He's a brony.
Yep. Such a brony.
If you vote Bobby T a brony, you'll win something.
So you know what's gonna happen? This will slowly lead to. So I got his press passes to BronyCon.
Yeah, and then be like, sir, you're the only one.
Right now, I swear to God, we're fucking going to BronyCon, you cocksuckers.
It's gonna be one alive at BronyCon.
No. And we're gonna go as those creepy anthropomorphic equestrian girl ones.
You are all alone in that stable, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, Mal. That's pretty good.
What did he say?
All I can think of is blowjobby prison.
That's pretty good, yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So yeah, the Baby T's loving that thing because she just saw him today, and so it was
watching
tons of the ponies around Discord.
Do we even know that she's alive?
I think it's just like a puppet that he's just.
It's not a real kid. She's just a really good piece of animatronics she was a Build-A-Figure from an old Marvel Legends line that I made a wish and like got shocked by lightning at the same time.
Yeah, there you go.
She's alive.
Like a terrible Seth MacFarlane movie.
Pretty much. So, all right, blowjobby prison is pretty good.
All right, Brony, what are we going to be talking about next? Brody T! Brody T! That's it! Brody T!
Yes! Dude, it was right there! I was hoping you just would like we go past that.
Oh, Brody T!
I heard it in my head.
So it would be a horse, but on the ass, it would be just a beard and glasses.
Just angry face.
Yep, angry. No, just a beard and glasses, and that's Brony T.
Technical difficulties.
Everywhere he goes, shit just breaks.
Technical difficulties on the way. It's Brony T. Holy shit.
Shit just breaks no matter where he goes.
You know what's funny? It's that I really did have, as you said, Brony, probably 10 seconds before you said it out loud. I don't know. I haven't watched the tape back to see if we connected a look because I looked at you and I was like, he's not gonna figure it out. And you said it and I went, shit, got it. So I do actually want to talk about something that happened last week. We want to talk about some amazing 5Alive moments like that one that just happened. Martin opening Alexa. Well, I was calling her Alexa Bliss. Harley Quinn.
You might.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
So last week,
at this point, her cosplayers annoy me just as much.
Just as much, same thing. So we had in episode 14. It's at the about 28-minute mark, 28:30 or somewhere in that neighborhood. We're opening DC mystery minis, and we all go through who we want. And Carissa is just saying, "It's gonna be Harley Quinn. It's gonna be Harley Quinn." And there's this moment, I had to watch it back because there's things that you just don't see when you're looking this way. You know, you got to see it from the other side of the camera. The moment Martin opens his, and he's so excited, and there's this moment where you're like, it's going to be Chip. Your shoulders just went, it's the smallest thing. You put your hands over it, and I look at you.
That's called the death of a soul.
The funniest part, I think, is that I look at you and I go, hey, what'd you get? And we looked at each other, just put it on the table.
You're like, I don't
just put it on the table. And both me and Chris at the same time were like, oh my God, he got it. And that might be one of the funniest things. And like, that was legitimate laughing. We were losing our shit.
It's like that scene in A Christmas Story when he opens up the pajamas and then she's like, try it on. He's like, I don't want it.
The difference here is that the parents are like, we really want to see this. This is an endearing moment. We were like, oh my God, all of our burning dreams just came true. All at once. Oh, it was so good. So, go back and check that out. So, Martin's first pitch, grandmother. So anyway, yeah.
My dad's an alcoholic. Let's discuss that.
Let's see. We went on a.
He also threatened to throw me out the window.
17-minute tangent. So that episode of Star Trek.
I don't care about this episode of Star Trek. Oh my god, do I not care about it?
Dude, what are you talking about? Worf as that like weird spider thing? That was pretty cool.
Oh, okay, so that's a different.
That's a different
episode.
Oh,
hold on. No, all right. I just figured out what happened. We mixed up 2 episodes. I'm talking about one. You're talking about another.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about one of my favorite and one of the scariest episodes. Like it's really suspenseful.
Yeah, and like everyone's turned into that weird creature except for
devolved.
Picard, right? Yeah.
No. So what's happened is they've all devolved across the ship. So they're slowly going back, and some people are going back faster than others, and Worf, being a Klingon, they come from like this insecty kind of, and he's the one who's got the like acid things in his neck or something.
He spits them in. Is it Troy's
Crusher's
eyes?
Yeah,
it's Crusher, and then Troy is devolving into a like a water.
Yeah,
they were originally from the water, so she has to go into water. Riker turns into the Neanderthal, but then Picard gets it a little later on. I don't know if he was. I think he just discovered the virus later.
Yeah.
I think it was. and it's so awesome because he's like playing the characteristics of like being afraid of big things. And he took more of the emotional play on the de-evolution.
Yeah.
The devolving.
Yeah, there was like a retrovirus that caused everyone's DNA's.
I don't know, man.
Oh, and I think the way it started was with Nurse Gawa. I think was one of the first. Was like patient 0 possibly because she starts to turn into like a monkey basically. Like she gets the fur all over.
Yes.
Her.
I mean, the only thing that's going on in my mind right now is Brony T. Like that's like every time I look at you.
Yeah,
like,
I know, man. It's hard. I get it.
So when he does go to BronyCon next year. And he will be going alone.
Yeah. He'll make his kid come with him so that he just...
I'm not bringing my kid around.
No, because if he brings his kid, then he can't dress up like a pony and take dumps in the middle of a hallway and have anonymous brony sex with other ponies.
Bronjabi prison.
That's pretty good.
That's actually the new name for the stable.
That's right.
He's building his Bronjabi prison. Yeah. So, what are you watching, Bobby T?
So wait, are we gotta go back to Star Trek?
No, we do not!
Let's talk about other episodes of Star Trek, because screw Martin.
I've been watching Deep Space Nine.
You were saying that.
So, I mean, I just got to the season where Worf shows up on the station. And
Season 4?
Season 4, yeah. Where
otherwise
the
known as, we needed a ratings bump.
Yeah. That's actually exactly what it was. It was a way to tie in the two.
That, and I think the movie was coming around. The Star Trek movie was coming. So they're like, hey, why don't we throw a Worf in here to garner excitement for both things.
They did such a good job that the movie we were talking about was First Contact.
Yes.
And
no, it was the one after that. No, it was First Contact.
It was First Contact because he's in the Defiant.
Yes, yep.
Because at the beginning they go to Wolf 325, I think it was, 325 Alpha, to fight the Borg.
Yeah.
And there's like this one little plucky ship that's beating everyone's ass, and it's Worf. Yeah. And he's like taking it down. Dude, that's such an awesome scene, that beginning. And he just gets... They zap him out real quick, they beam him out.
It's funny that they did the kind of de-evolution like arc twice, because in that next movie too, the cast or the crew starts to get younger and everything like that.
Yeah, it's not de-evolution. It's just young.
That's young. That's young. That's actually a really decent episode when you think of like the way young Picard thought when he's like, "I need my father," and it's
no, that's a completely different episode.
That's another different episode.
That's an episode with the transporter accident.
Yes, and it's Guinan and Picard
and the
Rolaren.
Yeah, Rolaren and no, he's talking about
the movie, the second movie. Yeah, where they're
that's a turd. Okay, that's a movie.
I thought that was awesome when he's getting like super aggressive and he takes the fucking phaser rifle and just like smashes something out of the air.
That's First Contact.
That's First Contact.
Oh no, I'm sorry, you're right. That isn't right.
That's also First Contact.
Yeah, also
when he gets all mad, he takes the blaster and he beats the shit out of everything.
Or he beats up his own ready room.
Yeah.
Misfire, no fire.
Yeah, she gives him the Moby Dick speech.
Yeah,
well, that was Picard though. Picard smashes the Tommy gun. I'm talking about Worf. Worf is going back into his he's going through puberty again. He gets the pimple, and then they're like, and then the doctor's like, tell me when you're feeling these like bouts of aggression, and then he fucking smashes the thing down out of the air, and he's like, I'm feeling aggressive or whatever, and like that was pretty funny. That was a good scene.
That movie's terrible.
You're terrible.
One episode I actually just recently watched of Voyager, possibly. I don't know. It was on BBC.
Which 5 episodes are we going to confuse with Voyager?
No, this is one specific episode I just watched, so it's pretty fresh. But
is it the one with the Rock?
No, Titus. What the hell is not Andromedon?
Titus O'Neil.
Not Titus. God, no. What I just forgot. The Man in Black from Lost.
Titus Wolver.
Yeah, Titus Wolver is in an episode of Voyager. He plays a first mate.
Actors gotta eat, apparently.
Dude, no, it's a great episode.
No, it's not Voyager.
This one in particular was just dealing with like kind of having to do what you have to do and screw the Prime Directive in some cases.
Yeah.
And they in this particular episode they find a creature from a different dimension that they find out that when it enters our dimension it dies. So they just hacked it apart and figured out we can get like crazy fuel out of this thing, and they were out of dilithium crystals and everything, so they were able to get across the galaxy, and they get back to Starfleet and they're like, yeah, you're court-martialed, we're taking everything away from you. And so it's a really weird way to kind of look at the Federation, I think.
It's like the fucking scene in the Bridge on the River Kwai when Alec Guinness is trying to explain the rules of the Geneva Convention. Yeah, and he knocks it out of his hand. Saito knocks it out of his hand. Says the Geneva Convention doesn't exist out here. Well, when you're in the fucking Gamma Quadrant away from everything else,
doesn't exist anymore.
The Prime Directive is.
Well, and his point too that was basically the dude's point is that look.
But Starfleet are a bunch of assholes.
We were Well, you know, it's weird that you would say that, but
I'm a Klingon Empire man, dude.
He's an Empire.
But at the end, I guess
Klingon Empire is the allegory for communism. Come on.
Actually, no. The Klingon Empire is the allegory for the evil Russian Empire. Nothing to do with communism. Just the
evil
Red Menace.
The Red Menace version of it.
But here's the thing. There's a difference between the Red Menace and communism.
Yeah.
They tied them together in the 1950s, in 1950s propaganda, but there is a distinct difference.
I would still take the Klingon Empire as that Red Menace.
So would my wife.
Yeah.
But again, that's a Red Menace. It's not.
Speaking of, I'm going to out my wife a little bit here for a second while we're talking Star Trek.
Okay. Anyways.
So she was part of the VHS club where they would put out like every couple months you get like a tape with like 2 or 3.
Is she watching this?
She is. Probably. So this is Lisa's Friend of the Federation award for loyalty and devotion to the mission. And I found this at her house and I framed it. This is amazing. So now what's funny is, dude, we're all nerds here. Yeah. We can't make fun of anyone else being a nerd, but this is why I love my wife right here. This is it, 100%.
And she dressed up as a Star Trek. Yeah, for one Halloween back in the day. I remember that. That was.
My wife has all of the original more action collectibles of the Buffy series.
My wife,
including
your wife,
including the giveaway of Oz from Toy Fair, where he's wearing the "Dingoes Ate My Baby" T-shirt.
Did I get that for her?
No, I don't think so.
I think I got her some Buffy figures a while back. I don't remember which ones they were.
But yep.
All right, guys, are we gonna?
We're both married. We both married giant nerds.
Yeah. Between filling his wife with hot meat and getting her toys, giving her gifts.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh boy, we got a Punani.
Punani prison.
Punani prison.
Yeah.
See, that feels so.
That was from Kitten Butt.
Oh, well, then it wins. She's the storyteller. So, that goes.
Well, that just went from a loss to a win real fast.
Brobnani prison is what he calls his man vagina.
Oh, boy. Mal saying, get the hell out of here. So, yeah, I don't know. Blowjob prison is still up there on the list.
I don't know. I like Punani prison.
All right, so...
But I think you're biased.
Well, yeah. But
so more Star Trek talk.
Again.
I hate everyone.
Now, what's funny is Martin really is a huge Trekkie.
I'm a massive Trek fan, that haven't been said. I came prepared tonight,
Did you? I didn't know you were prepared for anything, jerkface.
Coming prepared, I think, would have been here at like 9:30.
Something like that.
I apologize, I have a job I have to do, which sucks, okay? Dude, but I gotta pay the bill.
So, not very prepared, am I right?
God, Every fucking time.
Yeah, seriously.
I will get up and walk away.
Dude, no, you can't. The reason why is because the camera's in the way, and you can't. She's gonna knock the camera.
What you can't see here is that when you got up, there was 5 viewers, and then you sat back down.
Hold on. Chris has got to read the last comment.
Oh yeah.
Say it out loud.
We got one of our fans wants us to talk about Alexa Bliss, so.
But that's fine. Let's talk about Alexa Bliss and how she is.
She's actually kind of the focal point of one of our situations here. Before we get into any of that stuff, like
Star
always,
Trek.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at 5Alive VP. We're doing a bunch of giveaways and all contests all the time.
Please.
But right now, I think we had shot a video about this. I still have to edit it all together. But this is an awesome.
Exactly.
This is a
Give
set
me
that
proper credit. You ingrateful piece of shit.
So this is the last piece we'll ever get from Playmobil. But here we go. So no, this was an amazing piece. We grabbed it at. I was able to talk to people at Comic-Con. I think, truthfully, Baby T, I think, is really the one that won us this one. But they sent us some samples.
You're pouring your kid out, is what you say.
Hey, she got us some free Playmobil, I'll tell you what. So
and some awesome free Playmobil.
Yes, this is amazing. So we got Dana from the end of the movie in her Are You Zool phase. This is a slimed Venkman.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
With the actual photon. And then that's right. After we put all the stickers on the in the unboxing video, it's got the trap, and the trap opens. And what's cool in this trap, it does have a little hole in the middle. I think the Slimer or some of the other ghosts come with a little peg, and will go into that to make a little diorama because they love doing diorama stuff.
It would be cool if there was a way that you could like have this pop open on its own.
Yeah. I mean, it is Playmobil though,
and
really their idea is no non-plastic pieces.
Yeah.
You need probably something metal
like
in there.
Like a spring or
something.
You
need a spring or something. So
no, I get it, but it would be.
It would be.
Yeah.
So
maybe you can customize it to put
Did he just say customize? So one of the other cool things we got in here is the Terror Dogs. These Terror Dogs are made out of a softer PVC. And they leave a real grain. It's a metallic PVC, so it gives the feeling of the textured skin that would be on something like this. So they are identical. There aren't any differences in them.
They're very cool.
Open up?
The mouths open.
Mouths open up. They've got articulated necks. And articulated
you got an articulated
legs.
neck.
So some of the other things in this line that were actually really, really awesome too were
dude,
the house.
I don't know if that's natural to bring the head down that
He's
far.
a terror dog, dude.
I don't know.
He's not from this world.
Yeah,
that's like that just does not look right to me.
And now this one is so you also have the.
How come Dana gets a figure, but the other person who gets
Rick Moranis?
Yeah, how come he doesn't get a
he might
figure?
be another figure. I don't know.
Cool,
I didn't
man.
see.
Dude, she is just
she's
getting the business.
business.
She is getting the business.
And business is good.
Torn off face.
Yes. So we definitely want to thank Playmobil for these. This is a super, super cool playset. I can't recommend these enough if you're a Ghostbusters fan or even just a Playmobil fan. Exactly.
We love Playmobil.
Really, really well done. And like, we mention this all the time, but stylization works sometimes and doesn't work other times. In this case, it works.
Hit it out of the park.
Yep.
So now
for me, bitch.
So now, right now, I am on Amazon. The MSRP is $12.99. There's currently a sale going on.
That's insane to me.
Really? There's a sale going on right now. It's $10.39 on Prime, so it's free shipping.
I think this is really where Playmobil kind of outshines Lego in this aspect, is that the price point is a lot better.
Yeah. The price point's a lot better, and the stylization works better. Where the stylization for Lego can fall apart because it has to have that Lego feel to it, this works a lot that. Especially with the
it could be Mega Blocks.
Let's not get into that. So I'm looking at Playmobil right now on Amazon. We've got the Ghostbusters Firehouse for $56. All this is going to be Prime. The Ecto 1, and the Ecto 1 is the original Ecto 1, I believe. Yeah, it looks like it. And that's going to be $44.97, so $45. There's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and that one looks like he comes with raised stands. And I mean, it's gonna be this big.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a really big piece. It's $15.99.
That's insane.
Like I think I'm just gonna order this while we're sitting here.
Insanity.
You got Slimer with a hot dog stand, Spengler and Ghost.
He's doing his Christmas shopping. We're supposed to be talking about stuff we're reading and stuff we're watching, but no, I'm just gonna do
right now.
Talking about Alexa Bliss.
I'm reading stuff for Playmobil because they sent us free stuff so we can talk about them. So, so yeah, there's just awesome stuff from this line. The Firehouse. I think you guys are gonna come here next week and there's gonna be a Firehouse. It's so damn cool. Which will actually move us on to Stranger Things.
Yes.
So, here we go. Grab. I did
We didn't talk about Alexa Bliss though, like our fans.
she might like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
No,
So-
she's not. She's a fan of terrible things.
So I grabbed 2 of the new mystery mini vinyls from
It
Funko.
looks like you already opened them.
Yep. I got that Demogorgon. So I got the closed-faced Demogorgon and the Mike figure.
This box was empty. He tricked me.
Wow. He's the
For
worst.
anyone who has watched season 2 yet, I think Mike is a dick.
He's a straight up dick.
He's a massive
Yeah.
dick.
I love these figures. I saw Funko put them up on their Instagram. I hadn't seen them before, and I was like, I sent something to Bobby T. And I'm like, are these the mystery minis? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I want all of them.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
I do not like Hooper's face.
Hopper.
Yeah, or Hopper. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Hopper's
his
face
eyes are a little.
I love the stylization on these because it looks like what Stranger Things would be like if it was a 1980s cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just perfect. And this is the.
This is where Funko gets you, man.
No, this is the good and bad of Funko
Yep.
because they can do things like this. That is amazing, and I want to spend so much money to get every single one, and then they can do things like
Attack your.
this, which is supposed to be the Undertaker, but looks like sober Ozzy Osbourne with cloven hoofs.
And don't forget, also some Kevin Nash mixed in there.
Yeah, it's just the worst, and I don't understand how one company can do 2 things.
Yeah.
Now, another thing. So, we had a problem with the horse hoof look for a while. They were doing all the figures kind of had the same stylization.
They're
And
about
here's
to
one for
fucking
me
block up.
that breaks that mold. And I love it.
This isn't bad though. But my issue with this one is again the stylization of the gigantic eyes.
Yeah.
On this figure,
yeah, this one has
it's
them, too.
fine. On the
I like it on the Doc Brown.
I hate it on the Doc Brown. On the Doc Brown,
Yeah,
it
that
looks,
makes it look like some kind of like weird alien.
yeah, he looks like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's just, and then again, the cloven hooves. Again, this is the issue with stylization. On some stuff it works great, and on other stuff it looks awful.
I think the hooves are really just so that they can stand up. I mean, I think with how...
Except for the fact that they can't.
because you knocked it
Especially
down.
when
Yeah.
you hit it.
I know. Oh
Dude,
my god.
these terror dogs don't stand up at all, and neither does his heart, and neither does this. These boxes aren't boxing very well. Fuck them, right?
I just... And then, if that's your reason for that terrible stylization, that's an awful reason.
Oh, I like it. I'm still good with it.
I opened with saying how I love this.
I hate Alexa Bliss. I hate her because her hair's red.
She looks like an out of work Pippi Longstocking.
She does kind of look like that.
You know what you should do?
If I hated anyone because her hair is red, I would hate Becky Lynch, and I love Becky Lynch. So
You should write a letter to Funko and ask them why they chose to go with this design
I
style.
I
See
think the
what
answer
they
I would
say.
get back is, "How dare you speak with us, peon?"
Well, see, now they've kind of kept with it, and I guess, so...
They have and they
It's
haven't.
weird because, yeah, they go in and out on it. So,
And that's-
this is the new Freddy from the, I think this is the Walgreens exclusive Nightmare on Elm Street 4
This
Freddy?
is,
or 3, I'm sorry.
This is coconut faced at Freddy.
So they went with it there, they went with it here, but then, like, Hodor.
Yeah.
Hodor doesn't have it.
Nope.
Like, none of those guys
Maybe
have
it
it.
just has to do with the line. Maybe
Yeah,
they,
could be
you
the
know,
license.
yeah, maybe they just decided on one line. They did. I mean, because Harley Quinn doesn't have it either.
No.
This is a Funko thing.
Well, now, whereas the Rick and Morty's, and this is kind of interesting, I didn't even look at this, The Rick and Mortys have a pointed toe, and almost all of them have that style.
Maybe it just has to do with the person, like the person designing it. Maybe they just want to go with one thing or the other. I don't know.
Could be. Crazy things happen.
I'm not a fan. I gotta say,
there's a surprise.
Who would have thought? Martin's not a fan of something. So let's ask what he is a fan of. What are you watching, you piece of shit?
Popeye's Chicken. That's what he is.
He's watching, listening to.
Yeah, Popeye's Chicken. That's it.
Now I want some Popeyes. My wife made chili verde tonight, and I want Popeyes.
Motherfucker didn't share any with us.
It's upstairs.
I'm watching a new anime called Infinity Force. It is a
that has nothing to do with the various Bobby T's.
No, it has nothing to do with any T's. First, it works.
Ouch.
Does
it do editing?
No, it doesn't. Just like the various Bobby T's. So, it's a mashup of all the Tatsunoko characters: Science Ninja Team Gatchaman, Cashern, and Tekkaman, and I forget the fourth one. Regardless, they're all older 70s Japanese animes, the action type of animes before Shonen Jump took over and made them all into formulas. I really, really enjoy it. It's the four heroes, they're stuck in a world because their worlds got destroyed, and they're trying to help a girl, help a girl out so that she can recreate their world and they can go home. It's really, really well done. I'm on the third or fourth episode. The other cool thing, it's completely free to watch. It's on Viz Media. I access it through Pluto.
Thank you for saying that. So. I just remembered what our giveaway was this week, and it's out in my car.
Nice.
So we have
another technical difficulty.
Another one, man. This is a bad week. So we have a gift certificate for a gift card for $10 for VRV. I'll grab that soon.
None of you are going to get it because he's going to go out to his car, and then he's going to be like, oh, man, I lost it.
I probably did.
He's going to go out to his car.
My kid was playing around with it. And
no, Chris is going to tell me, dude, the kid said VRV, so I gave it to her. And she scratched off the code and redeemed it.
He's going to go out to his car, and he's going to forget why he went out to his car. And he's going to drive to Popeyes.
They're just going to come back in like 35 minutes like, guys, we're live. Drumstick in hand. Biscuits in pants.
Yes.
I have a weird time at Popeyes.
No Popeyes for us.
No, I'll have eaten it all by then. Alright,
so what are you watching, Chris?
Since
I'm the only person involved.
Going back to Viz Media, I actually went to their booth at New York Comic Con, and it was actually pretty cool. They had some of those mangas from The Legend of Zelda that you were into, and I bought that.
When I finally decided I wanted to buy them, they were wiped out of all
sold out. I bought the One Punch Man Opie shirt from the Viz Media booth. They were pretty cool. Glad you're supporting Viz Media. They put out some pretty good stuff. And then what am I watching? Well, we talked about Star Trek. I've watched Deep Space Nine. For anime, I've been watching, what was it called? Recovery of an MMO Addict.
Yes.
And it's pretty funny so far. And actually, I turned someone on to this anime that I watched previously called Love Tyrant, which is another show with a yandere character that is
your favorite trope.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a pretty good show. I was 12 episodes, only one season, at least right now. So it's a pretty quick watch. It got a little weird toward the end, but it was funny. I enjoyed it. So.
What are you watching, Brody T?
Oh, well, My Little Pony. Yeah, exactly. That's a fucking given.
No, it's been mostly just recently Stranger Things. I just actually put together. I've been doing a lot of editing, truthfully, this last probably couple days. I just did a for the upcoming decon for Jesse DeStasio, Knights of the Slice and Thousand Toys. I did 2 trailers.
You know what you should do?
Death Knight and Hob.
You know what you should do is edit this film or edit these clips. And then be like, oh man, some kid came by and wanted them like 2 seconds before you came by and give it to him.
I had to.
Yeah, dude, it was just a little kid. You
could say no. His mom was hot.
So, motherfucker.
See, I put together 2 trailers for that, so I've watched those probably about 100 times. Stranger Things. And I tried to watch a little bit of the old season before going into the new season because there was stuff that I forgot.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, that show, they really did a good job of kind of, I say it's about Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 just kind of slid into Iron Man 2. They didn't bother with giving you the origin story again.
Yeah.
They did that during the credits.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't catch it, you didn't catch it. Let's keep moving. And I feel like Stranger Things 2 did that. They just were getting the plot points from last season, what would have been the update in the first season, as like little drips throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who is Elle? Why is Mike like this? Why is Will like that?
They did a very good job of keeping it updated. I actually had this conversation with someone I work with because they were asking about it. They were asking, we were talking about stuff we were watching, and I was saying, well, I'm up on episode 5, and they were like, I didn't like the first season. Am I going to like this season? I'm like, no. Yeah. Why would you think that? Yeah. And they're like, what? Well, you didn't change anything? I'm like, no. Yeah. They did the thing. The
Spielberg formula works in this situation.
They did the thing that sequels should do. They just made a good version of something. Jerk.
All right, so Mal's saying right now he is watching Ballroom Yukoso?
Oh, that's
Ballroom Yukoso?
I think that's the one that we saw a trailer for at the Funimation booth.
Is that the sport one?
No. It's a fighting one. I if I remember correctly.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
It looks the manga looks pretty cool.
Now, what's the date that we come down here and he's full brony mode, like where he's got the outfit on?
I think by full brony mode, I hope the ending of it is when he's dyed his beard a rainbow. And he's got like a unicorn horn.
It's so amazing. It's a sports anime on ballroom dancing.
The over
sounds
under
pretty terrible.
The over under on that is 60 days.
Chris is crapping on Mal.
I'm not crapping on it. I'm just saying to me it doesn't sound.
It's sports anime on ballroom.
The episodes are probably one big long explanation on a move, like a half-hour episode of doing a pirouette, and then they explain what that is. Like,
so I can't believe
season 1. Yeah, I can't believe he did the XYZ pirouette. It's the hardest move in the world, and they managed to pull it off because he did this and he did that.
See, the one thing about that show that wouldn't annoy me, that does annoy me about things that have dancing in them, is, this happened in movies. It happens in movies all the time where, like, She's All That, where they're like, now let's all do that move we got, and, like, everyone does the synchronized dance. You're like, did they go to goddamn classes for this? What the hell is going on?
I think I'm a little more afraid that you've seen She's All That.
Well, let's bring that back a little bit. I'll bring that back a little bit more.
Rachel Lee Cook is hot. I don't understand your problem.
What I did watch this week was Can't Buy Me Love, the movie that that was based off of, with McDermott and God, I can't remember the blonde girl's name. Speaking of the dance move,
exactly.
And I discovered that early on. This is early Trent Reznor work on the soundtrack. So when you go to the dance and they do the African anteater dance and everyone's doing the crazy arm flailing, that song is a Trent Reznor.
That trope bothers the living hell out of me. Anytime
something bothers Martin,
it happens, I'm just like, what? It makes no sense.
My head has exploded.
So what you reading, Bobby T?
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, I haven't really read this week too much. Yeah, you're gonna have to get back to me on that one. I haven't really read.
What you reading, Chris?
I've been reading a lot of sports blogs. The soccer season is in full swing, so I've been kind of keeping up with Bayern Munich.
We'll get that VRV.
Their articles and stuff like that, and a lot of Texas Longhorn stuff. I've been reading some.
How terrible they are.
Yes, dude, they're so fucking terrible. I don't even know why I watch. Seriously, like, it's just one big dumpster fire. It's terrible.
As for me, I'm still going through all of the books that I got at New York Comic Con. Right now, I'm reading an X-Force trade called Counter X. So back in the, I want to say early 2000s, the X-Men books weren't doing that great. Not the X-Men, the main X-Men books,
but the
Uncanny
X-Men.
The shoot-off X-Men books like Generation X and X-Force and X-Man. So they went to my favorite writer, Warren Ellis, and basically said, we'll give you these books for like 8 months. Do whatever the hell you please with them. So he wrote, essentially outlines for all of them. They got, superstar artists to draw them, and it was something I always wanted to read. So I picked up the X-Men. I picked up the X-Men one, and then I started reading this X-Force one. It's very, very interesting. Instead of doing the X-Men thing, which is fighting the people to show that mutants are good.
Yeah.
These guys are working in the underground to prevent things from happening, and being more spy espionage about it.
Being a little bit more proactive.
Exactly. It's really, really well done. The art is it's rough. But you can
rough as in like it's not good, or
it's
rough
not
as in
good.
like graphic?
It's not good. It's
But I thought he hired good artists.
Well, for the most part they did.
Okay.
For the most part they did, but unfortunately.
Oh, there it is, Brody T.
For the most part they did, but unfortunately this particular run started off with some stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is not your stupid Yu Yu Hakusho bracelet or whatever it is.
Dude, this is gold right here.
Yokai Watch. That's right.
So it started off. The run starts off with being done by Will Portacio. And it's very obviously
it's overdrawn?
He'd forgotten how to draw when he had gotten, because this is well past when he was super popular, and it's just terrible. It's just not good at all. And now they've obviously, he was so bad and the things were taking so long to get out that they've moved on to other lesser artists. And there's a lot of artists who are really popular now doing it, but they were very good then. So other than that, though, the stories are great, and I really, really enjoy it. And it leads me to my next customization. I already told Bobby T the first one I want to work on. Mm-hmm. The next one I want to do is a character called Pete Wisdom. Should be a super easy customization, but I really want to get it done.
I may have some of the parts for you on that, too.
There's no such thing.
All right, so Mal's saying look up Put 'Em Down, Cyanide, and Happiness. Shorts after the show might be worth a laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was that? That was reading?
Yeah.
Watching? What'd you listen to?
Dude, speaking of what I'm listening to, I was listening to some Cypress Hill earlier in the day. Yeah. And I found a greatest hits album on Google Play, and it did not. And the title of the greatest hits album was Greatest Hits from the Bong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, greatest hits from. Yep.
And it did not have hits from the Bong.
Yep.
How the fuck did that happen?
The same thing. Wait a minute. It's got Hand on the Pump. It's got A to the K. It's got everything.
And How Can I Just Kill a Man?
Yeah.
It's got some deep
Dude, for real, that first album is so good. That's like a beginning to end, no problems.
How do you not have hits from the Bong on there?
Can we quickly just segue a little bit? Briefly into one of the best episodes of The Simpsons with the Lollapalooza episode.
Yeah,
with they steal Peter Frampton's orchestra and doing Insane in the Membrane.
And get out of my cooler, you kids!
Sonic
Youth cooler to eat a sandwich.
He launches the pig, the whole thing. It's
Cypress Hill, perhaps someone ordered the London Philharmonic Orchestra, perhaps while high. Did you order an orchestra?
I couldn't believe that you do not have hits from the Bong on a greatest hits from the Bong
hilarious. Called greatest hits.
They were probably fucking high when they decided on the track list. Jesus Christ!
Yo, we forgetting anything, man? Nah.
As they're taking a hit from the Bong, nah, man, it's good. We good.
We're good,
dude. But they released. You know how I don't know if it's a specific record label that's releasing these albums, but they do the Essentials one. So there's like the Essentials Clash and the Essentials.
Yeah. I've seen they have the white cover usually.
Yeah, and then like a portrait usually.
Usually just a portrait.
They did release an Essentials Cypress Hill, and that one did have hits on the hits from the Bong. So
that first 2-3 albums that they made, I think. The first album, which was self-titled, and then Temples of Boom was awesome. That Temples of Boom had Insane in the Brain.
Yes,
that was that album. So, yeah, I love it.
I don't understand that. It's like a mystery of the universe.
You mentioning the Clash just reminded me. I was listening to a podcast, and they were discussing Rock and Roll High School, which is a great Roger Corman movie starring the Ramones. And apparently the Ramones were not the first band they approached to start in Rock and Roll High School. The first band they approached was The Clash.
Oh my God.
Would you imagine that movie?
So different.
The Clash.
And then its sequel, would it star Corey Haim at that point? I don't know.
I don't think the sequel would happen.
Would there be a man named Namrock who drinks his own pee? I don't know.
Yeah, Rock and Roll High School with The Clash.
I wish we didn't have this conversation earlier in the week, just for the record.
Rock and Roll High School featuring The Clash instead of the Ramones would be like, I would feel like a more, a lighter Rebel Without a Cause. Like, it's just so socially, you know. I mean, there would be some social politics in it and everything like that, but it wouldn't be like as zany.
Yeah, no, I think that's the whole thing. The Ramones make it.
It wouldn't be campy.
The Ramones make it campy. They make.
Well, Roger Corman makes it. Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is they make it. They have that cartoonish to themselves.
And that's the thing. Yeah, the Ramones had they were a punk band, but they had light-hearted songs. And even the songs that had socio-political leanings were still like they were like Bob Dylan punk songs. You know, they were allegories, and they used these like similes and metaphors.
And they had that straight 4-chord thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where the Clash, I mean, they didn't really have any of those kind of like super, you know, like jokey songs. No, like, everything was like, this is the message. Yeah, this is our message.
So the point where they even rewrote Rock the Casbah like 3 times because it was originally about one thing, then it was about Iranian sheiks, then it was about like oil barons, like. It was one thing.
When you write a song called White Riot, there's not a lot of simile.
No, we know what you're talking.
The message is pretty damn clear. So what you playing?
What are you listening to?
So I recently got, I think I pulled this out before, I am part of a mail-away service, a monthly mail-away, and it's called Vinyl Me Please, and one of the things this month that we got was from a guy named Moses Subney. It's a pretty solid album. I gotta say, definitely worth a listen. I can't really truly explain him. He's that kind of guy, but it's a decent album to listen to. A little weird, but good stuff. This is also the same.
You gotta get experimental sometime.
This is the same. Well, that's exactly. You gotta try something different every now and then. And so this is the same company that gave me one of the greatest rap albums ever created, and Biggie Smalls' Ready to Die. I mean, this is my daughter, and we've said this in the past, her lullaby is actually Juicy. So I have a cleaned up version of Juicy I sing to her. But she absolutely loves it. So I've been listening to that, some metal. And it's kind of like the metal I can't really even say because I just put on a channel on Spotify and it just rolls. Oh, and Can't Kill Yourself by CKY. I just kind of got that weird bug up my ass. Like, I gotta listen to some CKY, man.
Blast from the past, man.
So good though, and listening to it with good headphones.
No, CKY just makes me think of Tony Hawk.
Absolutely, 96 Bitter Beings. It's all you hear. But I love that band. They would just kind of have that same as what we were talking about, the Clash and bands like and the Ramones. They do that 4-chord stuff, but it had that weird kind of bounce to it, and then you'd hear the drummer just break into a jazz drumming, and then I know the lead guitarist is super into Gigi Allen, so you'd hear some weirdly inspired stuff by that, and they were like 4 dudes.
Shit in his own hand.
Yeah. So
trying to kill himself on stage.
So that I think that band is 4 dudes who had a similar vision for music, but came from different places, got together and put together this crazy version of music. They have a new album called Phoenix. It's okay. I like the older stuff. That's unfair of me to say to any band. I mean, at one point their old stuff was new stuff, but
we were talking about this earlier when we were talking about your interview with Jesse DeStasio, and we were talking about the music that we like, and it's the stuff that we like from when we were kids. And I said there's not a lot of music that I listened to when I was 16, 17, 18 that I don't like now. There's a few exceptions. Dropkick Murphys. I can't listen to any of the newer Dropkick Murphys stuff. Basically, the only 2 albums that I actually 3 albums that I'll listen to from them is Do or Die, The Gang's All Here, and their singles collection. Anything past that, it's too Flogging Molly-esque.
It really
and
is.
Nothing against Flogging Molly, they're a great band, but
Flogging Molly does it better.
Yeah, if I wanted to listen to Flogging Molly, I would listen to Flogging Molly.
If I want to listen to the Dropkick Murphys, I'm going to listen to the Polyphonic Spree.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't listened to them in years.
Newer Anti-Flag. I can't really get into the new Anti-Flag stuff yet.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, after the Terror State. So that's still, what, 3 or 4 solid albums? Because I think their first one was Die For Your Government. Then they released Underground Network. Then it was A New Kind of Army. And then the Terror State. So 4 albums. That's pretty solid. That's solid track listing. And what's the other one that I thought I mentioned one more? Oh, The Unseen.
Yeah,
The Unseen after Paul had left, and then Mark took over. Yeah, I couldn't get into it after that, and that's still I think 2 or 3 albums that are solid work. And then of course Weezer. Anything after Pinkerton.
Pinkerton's amazing. Yeah, that's like a pinnacle on their second album.
I can listen to the Green Album. I really enjoy the Green Album.
Had
Island of the Sun.
Island of the Sun.
That was okay. Hash Pipe was okay.
I enjoy the Green Album, and there's one good song on Maladroit, which is Hash Pipe. Or no, I'm sorry. There's one good song on Maladroit, and I forget the name of it. But the rest of it's terrible, and we play it at work all the time. Their newer stuff, and it's because I hear it at work all the time, and it's better than the pop crap I hear at work. I find myself humming it. But then I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll download this and listen to it. And I tried listening, and I was like, no. What?
Yeah,
I'm just going to listen to Pinkerton.
Google Play released. They do like the New Music Thursday, I think it's called, where you can listen to a new album that's dropped. And they did the new Weezer album. And I listened to the first song, and I was like, it's okay. I'll give it a chance, and I'll go on to the next one. And then the next song was just And I'm like, nope, I can't do it.
And again, I explained it to my wife this way. It's like watching your favorite uncle slowly fall victim to Alzheimer's. You're like, I love this person, but they're not the same person anymore, and I can't watch it.
Definitely not.
And I know that's a super dark way of putting it, but it was the only way I could think of putting it.
Yeah,
and that's how I describe what happened with The Simpsons to me. Like, I can't. It's not funny anymore. It's all stuff. It's all referential. It's essentially like watching Family Guy. And again, it's like I used to love this thing. I used to worship this thing.
I haven't watched The Simpsons in probably about 5 years, 5-6 years at this point.
Dude, it's been much longer.
It's a shame.
I went through a few years. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was 4 years ago. It was when I first moved here. We hadn't had cable, and there was some online service that had some stuff that I was watching. So I watched a bunch of Simpsons episodes because it was just there. Really, I at that point I was like, oh, I'll watch some of the new stuff, and wow,
it's just not good.
Marge was an MMA fighter or something.
Like everything's style of the week. Like, oh, okay, MMA's popular. We'll do an MMA episode. Oh, 50 Cent's popular. We'll have him guest star, and you're like
we're like there's some kind of piece of shit podcast or something.
Right, exactly.
So speaking of wait, piece of shit podcasts that give things away, we might as well give it away as we've been on the air for a full hour now. Gonna hit the button. Code is live. It is for a $10 gift card for VRV. We do like this service. It is let's see.
It's kind of like an umbrella subscription. So you pay one fee and you get Funimation, Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, and a couple other.
You get Nerdist, Cartoon Hangover, and Rooster Teeth. Yep. So.
And VRV. So because you get Cartoon Hangover, you get all the Frederator stuff. Also, a lot of the because NBC's comedy thing failed, so they pushed a lot of stuff.
There's some weird. There's some B-roll stuff on VRV.
Was it Dan Harmon Quest is now on Verve? It's a really good service.
Decent $10. Let's get something with that.
I watched the first season of Harmon Quest when it first was available, and It was hit or miss for me because I mean, maybe I'm just not smart enough to get the jokes. You know, maybe it's one of those things.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just not smart enough to get the humor.
I think the problem is they were playing D&D incorrectly, and it drove me insane.
Yeah.
You were like, they need a goddamn Balto. I need to go up there and Balto my ass off.
That was part of it too, having the DM roll the dice for them. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to attack, and then the DM would roll the dice.
Yeah, I actually was in a campaign years ago down in Florida where the DM insisted on that. I'm like, I'm not letting you. A, you're not touching my dice, and B, you're not rolling them for me. So.
Yeah. That's just odd to me because it's your character. You know, it should be up to you whether you fail or succeed. But there was one, because they have, every episode they have a special guest, and they make their own little character for that one off, and then, you know, one character, or one player, that was a guest, I don't remember his name, he brought his own dice, and he was like, nah, I'm rolling, he's like, I play D&D, I know how it works, and I'm rolling my own dice,
It was No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah, no, I don't remember who it was, but either way, that was pretty cool. They let him roll the dice or whatever, and he was succeeding all over the place. So it was pretty sweet. But it's hit or miss because the problem is that some of the guest stars that they have know a little bit about D&D, so they can get into on the game and stuff like that. And then others, they like know nothing, and it's just
Will Wheaton has a problem with that on his tabletop show. The same thing kind of happens, where you get people who really want a game, and you get people who are just there because they're on Walking Dead.
Yeah, maybe they're friends with Will Wheaton,
or even worse, like you said, their publicist told them.
Yeah, the publicist said you got to play with this person from whatever show.
Yeah.
You go, well, that person's not a gamer. Why is that a thing?
That sounds. If the Discord people are listening, that sounds like a good one-on-one session for my character in the my vampire game. Having to be forced.
Are you plugging your Discord game right now?
Damn right I am. Hey, I plug our show on the game. So that is a great idea for a one-on-one situation. My character getting forced to do a YouTube, like a gaming thing. There you go. I'm done.
Oh my god.
There's not any.
Even better. They lost.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than Texas Longhorns.
That's the closest I've ever been to him. Super weirded out.
Not the closest I've been.
Alright, anyways.
It's because we're friends. And
as well. It's because we actually go out to the mall like R&R, and we just walk.
We do the,
you wear one pair of pants?
We do the Laverne and Shirley opening.
Yes, the Schlemiel. House of Pepper Incorporated.
We're gonna do.
That's right, guys. We went full Laverne and Shirley. So with that, what are you playing? It's time to move on.
I'm still playing South Park, the South Park game. I am loving every second of it. I recently glanced across a review. It was like, oh, if you don't like the South Park humor, you're not going to like the game. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Duh. It looks like an episode of South Park.
Yeah.
No shit.
And in this episode, water is wet.
So wait a minute. You're saying season 2 of a show is exactly
like
season 1 of a show?
I
mean, so they didn't. So South Park, the Fraction of a Whole, did it change anything from the Stick of Truth?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
They changed the combat a bit, which I actually feel is greatly improved.
I don't get it.
And then they just opened up original Xbox backwards compatibility and Xbox One, so I've been replaying KOTOR for the 95th time.
So I can't stop playing Knights of the Old Republic. It's one of the best games of all time. I even have it on my iPad. It's terrible, and I still love it. I still play it. Glitchy as hell.
And also Crimson Skies, because that was one of the other backwards.
Really? Wow.
So, and thanks to my former employment at GameStop, I own the disc for those things.
Nice. We playing Grizza? Oh, sorry, I will punch you.
Schmite and Schmal.
Schmite and Schmal Schmoo.
Well, it's okay because...
That's an abomination. That is an abomination right there. No, actually, I didn't really get a chance. I haven't played Titanfall 2 this week.
So just so everyone knows, there's a Captain Picard mini-mate in the chest of a Funko.
I have been playing my... Get out of here.
Now Morty's in there.
I've been playing my SNES Classic. I'm almost done with Super Mario World, actually. And then I bought Wolfenstein the other day. And
have you even played it?
No, I left it. I left it at work.
You stupid
yeah,
idiot.
I know. And
Yep.
And I did buy Super Mario Odyssey as well, but I haven't.
I watched a kid I work with play it, and it looks super fun and awesome, and I want to play it. But then I realize I have to buy an entire system to play that.
Yeah,
that I will not. That I will play that one game on.
Zelda machine. That's the thing is they're getting to that point with the Nintendo system where I'm gonna finally jump in. The Mario is pushing over the line for me. I like the Mario Kart, and the Zelda looks amazing. So now we're at 3 games. I know there's going to be the 6th that I want. So.
I think Mario, with how good it's getting, the amount of praise that it's getting, I think it's just going to drive. Like the Switch hype machine was already like going, out of control with Zelda, and then Zelda was a hit. Everybody loved Zelda. Then ARMS came out, and people liked ARMS. And then Splatoon 2 came out, and people liked Splatoon 2, but then
not Beats.
Yeah, well, so it was starting to lose its momentum a little bit, but now Mario Odyssey's dropped, and I think everybody's gonna go crazy for it, and I think the hype is just gonna go off the rails again, and I think this holiday season with Mario, every kid's gonna want Mario Odyssey. They're gonna want to Switch and all that stuff. But I did pick that up today, and I haven't had a chance to play because I came here. So
look at it, he's just complaining.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's like I had to work and I had to close, but all this shit happened to me, and I showed up an hour after
smelling of Popeyes.
Yeah, exactly.
I always smell that way.
Yeah, but same note here. I've been playing a lot of SNES Classic. Anywhere I can really fit it in. I've just been playing Mario.
Yeah.
And the name of his porn tape. Anywhere I can fit it in.
The Mario story. The Mario story. Or How I Met Mario and Luigi.
Bobby T was like, man, I should really watch an episode of Future Diary, but I'm going to play the SNES Classic instead.
I'm going to pretend to edit.
So Mal's saying he's waiting for the price to drop on the Switch. I think I'll get it.
Enjoy that.
You know what they'll do?
The bundle.
Well, I mean, they're already doing the Mario bundle where you get Mario, the case, and then the system. But what they're probably going to do is they're going to do like a Switch XL, and the screen size is going to be bigger, the battery life's going to be better, and then the regular Switch will drop down. That's what I imagine they're going to have. That's going to do in
what Nintendo does.
Well, everybody does it. Look at the fucking the Xbox One S, the One X. How many fucking versions of the PlayStation 3 were there?
Jesus. Yeah, no, I've got my One X on pre-order. Yeah. I'm waiting for it. My Xbox right now it's just dying.
Yeah.
They have updated it out of the game. It can't do anything anymore. The Kinect is
Which is funny because I have a day one and I have not had an issue.
Yeah, well,
just your power brick, right? You have to.
I just replaced my power brick for the second time.
I had a problem with my Xbox when I first got it with the Kinect. It would just keep shutting off. The Kinect.
My Kinect crap that.
Yeah, my Kinect. It would just keep shutting off.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I would reset the system, it would get all like snowy, the picture, and then it would like turn a green, and then it would like stay that way for like 20 minutes. And then it would like finally, the picture would come in. And so this was like right around when I think Destiny 1 was coming out, and I was like, I can't have these issues like going on.
I can't have these issues going trying to play Destiny.
Yeah, exactly, because everybody was super hyped about Destiny, and we were all going to be playing it. So I sent it back to Xbox, and they gave me another one, and after that, I have had no problems with it.
Yeah, this thing's just been buggy. I just finally I reset it, and you're able to keep your game data. But still doing reset. So it is working a little bit better. It's actually doing some of the things it should do. But the Kinect is still garbage. Anytime I try to use the Kinect, that puts such like it seems like a physical toll on the machine to a point where it just can't do things because it got to a point before I did the reset where I couldn't even open settings to get to reset. Yeah. Like
I have this problem with my Xbox where I play a game and I'm fucking terrible.
That seems like a you problem.
I'm just terrible. No, it's my system. It's my system's problem.
Well, there's some lag with the controller.
Exactly.
You can't jump as quickly as you'd like to.
I can't get away from the... Yeah, and, I fire the gun, but it doesn't hit someone.
So,
Speaking about the Xbox, I read today or yesterday, I can't remember, that they're finally. I never learned to read. They are finally killing off the Kinect.
Yeah, it is dead.
Yeah, it's officially dead.
It,
yep.
So.
So I like it primarily for one feature. Xbox volume up,
yeah.
Xbox volume down.
Oh, I thought it was showing off his dong to random strangers.
That too. Well, it is my avatar. Dong ET. Long duck dong ET.
It took Microsoft how long to realize that it took
well, they started killing it once they put out the S. They were like, doesn't need a Kinect. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you go, wait a minute.
I wonder what kind of weird Kinect camera they're going to have with the next generation Xbox.
Oh, it's going to be some bullshit that's going to cost you an extra $100.
It's going to be the HoloLens. It's going to be that AR stuff. That's what Microsoft's pushing towards.
Yeah. Well, that's we talked about this in early episodes saying that.
Yeah, so go back and watch our older episodes. We're not going to retread this stuff. Yeah.
For VR is the thing of the past. Yeah. It's as much as everyone wants these VR rigs and stuff. Man, Sony that's VR it's all awesome. Augmented reality.
Man, Sony VR is the best.
You're not working right now.
Yeah, you're not working. You don't have to say their lines.
I don't say that stuff when I'm working.
That is the absolute lie. Because when I call, so when you call a GameStop, the person.
Whoa! I don't work for GameStop.
When you call a game store,
when you call the only fucking game store on the planet, apparently. They pick up the phone and it's usually like, thank you for calling GameStop, pre-sale something for some fucking amount of money. When you call his store, it's, hello, thank you for calling GameStop, where you can practice
Game
that
store.
Shit, Game store. Thank you for calling Game Store, where you can Game Store your Game Store.
Do you believe this shit? He can't just stop saying.
Yeah, and we can't fucking edit it out either.
No,
because who's gonna fucking edit it? Him? He's too busy watching Stranger Things.
Oh, I thought you did all of the editing all of a sudden. What happened to that?
When it's your fuck up, you gotta
okay.
That's how it is.
That's why my fuck ups never get edited out.
Do you understand that if that was the case, Martin would be editing everything? So here's the time I said that this person should die in a fire. Here's the time that I said that, yeah. So
they should die in the fire.
So I think one of the things I've been doing in
my house is
Mario.
Fire.
3 minutes and 30 seconds, folks. Go to the Batman Imagine X video at 3 minutes 30 seconds. You'll see my soul get Hadoukened out. What the kid says in very plain English is, "My house was on fire." Wow. So, yeah, I've played a lot of Mario, and...
By the way, that's going to be in his birthday
card. Oh my god, forever. I gotta get a tattoo on it.
We're going to put that on his headstone.
So my epitaph.
Brony T, my house is on fire.
So,
with a picture of Rainbow Dad.
No, it's going to be one of those huge headstones with a
Rainbow Dash. No, it'll just be this. Bobby T, that dude didn't make sense. No, I've been trying to go through all the secret levels of Mario, so I'm up on that on Star Road right now. I'm at the 6th one. I think it's called Mondo.
Isn't it just Star World 1 or Star World 2?
No. Well, there's because there's so there's Star World where you've got the 5 corners, and some of them you have to beat the secret way, and some of them you have to beat the normal way. But when you get to the bottom portion of the star, the bottom middle, when you get that key, it opens up a path that brings you up to the middle. So there's that little mountain or the hill. A star gets placed on that head, and then you go to another portion of the game where there's 8 levels, and those 8 levels are called awesome tubular.
Oh yeah, isn't it when we're there, everyone's super huge and you're tiny?
No.
Okay.
So this one,
he's had sex before.
Oh, a bunch of times.
But what he's not telling you is that he had to roofie them.
You call me I have a Bill Cosby.
He went out to his car and got his tools and his dentist tools.
It's the implication.
Oh, the implication. I love when Dee on the boat, she's like, oh yeah, no, I get it. It's like sometimes when I tell guys, maybe they should just start banging her. Maybe I'm not going to remember her facts the way that they happen.
And, perhaps you already assaulted me.
So yeah, I've been trying to get all of the secrets, and even like on the bridge when you get out from the caves, there's the 2 bridges. In the bottom bridge in the middle, there's a secret level that drops down, and that will allow you to go to a water level, and then that water level brings you to another star area, so that you can then kind of go around. So there's so many different things in that game that you could just sit there and go through it all. But these levels are so hard. The levels for the Star Road that I'm talking about are some of the hardest Mario levels, where you need to figure out, like, I need to hold the shell from the beginning of the level all the way to the end, because I need to kill one guy and jump off of him. Like,
I don't have that problem. I just go, that seems impossible.
Well, this is where button and screen latency all come in.
Jesus Christ! God damn
all of it!
God damn it!
So,
can we just
actually,
get through one conversation without you blaming your fucking controller?
Can we get through 1 week where I ask what you're playing and you don't say Titanfall 2? Fucking no!
No, because I'm playing Titanfall 2.
And I'm playing a game where that shit's important.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
It's a My Little Pony game. I made it myself. Using old Flash style games. My head is on all of the Rainbow Dashes.
You know, it would be a funny game, like a Newgrounds game or something, where like you emulated it yourself. Is if you emulated it and it worked fine, but then if you try to like make it better, then it slows down.
If you try to put it on other screen, it just doesn't work.
But then people are like, what the fuck? Like, what?
I'm hitting the button, shoot half a second later. This is fucking me up.
That would be awesome.
So, so there's a controller out right now. I think it's called the Retrocon or the Retro Controller or something like that. So it's a Nintendo controller. Oh, it's a totally rad NES. That's who makes it.
Yep.
It is an upside-down NES controller. So when you play it, it's you're holding it as it's normal, but it's perfectly flipped. So the direction pad's here and the buttons are here, but the buttons are on top, not the bottom. So it's a flipped NES controller. So
is it for like left-handed people?
Yeah, it's
just for people who want to try it a different way. It's it's great. Hey, I don't understand it, but there are guys doing speed runs. Dude, there's people doing speed runs with this thing, and it's working. I don't fucking get it.
Dumb people who shop at the Leftorium.
And all of those people are our fans.
One thing I am looking forward to just got announced. So I am a Kickstarter backer for Mutant Football League, which is a Mutant League Football, which is a Mutant League Football remake. They just announced Xbox, and they're Xbox certified. They're going for the Sony certification. Be out. They're looking for a January release date. So I cannot wait.
That's the one where you can bribe the ref, and then then you can kill him. If,
Yep. So and then. They also
dude, that'd be awesome if we didn't have any sound that whole hour.
That was you gotta watch the video back. I'm watching them going, wait, what the hell's going on? And it's because the audio on my computer was muted, and so was the video on YouTube. So I unmuted it, and while I'm still going through it, like, oh come on.
And then there's another cool game. It's supposed to be coming to Xbox soon, called Old Time Hockey. And it plays and looks like the hockey from the movie Slapshot.
It's old time hockey, but it's just Slapshot. The hardcore band Slapshot playing in the back, just playing back and forth. Dude, that'd be awesome.
One of the teams in Old Time Hockey is the Charleston Chiefs, and they do have the Hanson brothers. Nice. So yeah, I really want to play that one too. A lot of really cool niche sports games coming out lately, which is fun.
Yeah, I played a very small amount of Cuphead this week, but just finally threw the controller. I'm like, all right, I'm finished for now.
There were some latency issues. And,
sadly, no, there wasn't. That fucking game is just hard.
Yeah, and that right there is what is stopping me from playing that game.
Holy crap, man! I'm stuck on the same dude, and it's like not even that hard.
I don't like a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Everything on easy.
Yeah, for real, dude. Now, the Star Worlds are like set to extra hard. So
my character profile in Wolfenstein has a little bunny.
Yeah, that's right. The pacifier.
So So I think with that pacifier,
even then it's too hard for Martin.
Exactly. No, I haven't finished the first Wolfenstein.
He still plays the Doom where the face is like this.
Yep, exactly.
We have been 5Alive. I am Bobby T.
I am Martin.
And I'm Chriso.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing in the comments below. Follow us at 5Alive VP on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And make sure, when you subscribe, you'll get the updates for when we go live. Usually do it, during the week for wrestling. And then
usually Wednesday night for wrestling, which it will be Wednesday this week also.
And then Saturday nights for obviously our General Talk live show.
Yes, sir.
Where we do the general bullshittery.
So the code is up. Don't know if anyone took it yet. Mal, it looks like there's only a few people watching live right now, so you might as well get in there and grab it, man. You're our code taker.
Turn my phone on. Yeah.
Let's say, Chris, jump in there, man. Get that VRV code.
Yeah, seriously, I kind of want.
It's $10, man.
Exactly.
So, also wanted to give a quick thank you to Pop Culture Shock Toys.
Yes.
We in our early bad episodes we mentioned it. We have mentioned it in the good episodes. We did just receive a few statues from them. We got a Sub-Zero quarter scale statue.
Scale.
It is. It's all over the place. We got the RoboCop EX statue.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. I did discover that part of why we needed it, that particular one, is because when you put it in the case, it's going to take up double space here, and there's an arm motion where he's like this, and an arm motion where his arm's out. So we luckily got where the arm can go up, so he can actually fit in a case. These things are quarter scale, so you're talking about a statue that's roughly 24 to 30 inches tall. And then the third one we got was Blanca.
Insanely well designed.
Just design, detail, everything about it.
Yeah, that's Jerry Macaluso is the main sculptor on this, and he is amazing. Like that, I always say he's a master. And
he doesn't blame his controllers on latency issues.
Probably not. Probably fine with latency issues that controllers have.
In the past, he had owned. He started the soda toy company. SOTA. They had made these amazing Street Fighter figures. He sells that company out to someone else. They tank the company. Just go the opposite way on everything that he had ever done. It did not go well. Now the company's basically dead, and they're not using the name. It'd be really great if Jerry could sneak back in there and maybe make some more toys. But we have a ton of statues coming out from PCS. They do have, before we leave here, let me just make sure I pulled this email. This weekend they're doing a sale on their website, whatever, popcultureshocktoys.com, in their warehouse where they keep all of their stuff. This discount won't apply to any pre-orders or anything, but it will apply to any of the old stuff. Here we go. I'll get that code. So the code you're going to want to use is Halloween 2017 31P. So you get 31% off all in-stock warehouse gems.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So I mean, we're talking $300 and $400 up to $1,000 statues in there.
Yep.
Get a nice chunk of money taken.
I could never imagine myself having that much money to spend on a statue. Like when we were at the con, there was a guy. There was a one of the cases had 3 statues in it. It had Quan Chi. Yeah. Sagat, right? Did he buy a Sagat?
He didn't buy. No, Sagat's not out yet. The Sagat is a 1/3 scale.
It was Quan Chi. It was
Goro?
Kintaro. I don't think he bought the Kintaro.
No, he bought all 3.
Oh, okay.
Everything that was in
Quan
that
Chi
case
was his.
Dalsine was in there.
No, Dalsine was in a different case. It was all Mortal Kombat stuff.
He bought the 3 Mortal Kombats. Either way, this dude bought over $1,000.
It was Kodokan.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would have never remembered that.
That's insane to me. Like, more power to him for having that money to drop on that stuff. That's awesome.
The only thing he does.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and that's great. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine doing it.
Yeah, Chris is in that I won't spend more than $40 for a pop phase, but I am going to break you. You are going to buy an SH Figure Arts figure and go, how do you spend less than $60 on an action figure?
Nope.
Yeah. I don't have the space for action figures, and I don't.
Like fucking vertical shelves don't exist.
I don't.
Oh my god! Call yourself collectors for a minute.
I'm not a collector. I'm not a collector. Yeah.
I have pictures to the contrary. You are a pop collector.
Yeah, but I have them set up like you do over there, where they're on a ledge.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Then...
Behind the camera,
Yeah,
it's
it
all
doesn't
black.
exist.
It's all space.
I have them lined up. I mean, you guys can go on the Instagram page. I posted a picture of my pop collection, and it's basically...
Oh, so you have a collection. Does that make you a collector? No. Oh!
No. Because we're not collecting Funko stuff anymore, remember? It's,
Let's just take these out and tell you
no.
what
I want that demo board.
I don't have the stuff to do like this. I have my pops on a shelf, and then they're stacked on top of each other. I'm sure if there was like if some anal retentive collector saw my collection, they'd freak out at me because I've got them like.
So maybe if you take all of the red propaganda and you put it in one area.
No.
And then instead of just everywhere.
No.
You don't have to actually sleep on the CCCP flag.
I do.
He's got the pajamas.
Oh,
the
yeah.
mug. The mug is just the potato with a handle.
I have one big onesie.
It's a hollowed out potato. This milk's very potato.
No, I have one big. It's a onesie, a feety pajama onesie, and then there's a yellow star in the butt flap.
And then you pull up the hood, and it's got a little blotch right here.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that'd be awesome.
That would be so awesome. That's a perfect place to end this. Like, share, and subscribe. 5Alive VP.
Yeah, all that.
#5Alive Live.
I said it already.
Did you? Who cares?